I know I just talked about JOJO Siwa yesterday, but in reading the comments, it was brought to my attention that JOJO Siwa and her mother are in massive trouble after a Rolling Stones article has come out about them, alleging they mistreated members of the girl pop group that they created called XOMG Pop. Rolling Stone broke the news story, writing, JOJO Siwa promised them pop stardom. They say they were thrown in the trash. If you didn't know, in 2021, JOJO Siwa had a show called Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution, where her and her mom were on the hunt to create the next big pop music group. It was a competition show in which 11 girls competed to be a part of the group, where JoJo was going to be their mentor and her mom was going to be their manager. They were set to open for JOJO Siwa when she went on tour, and this was going to shape them up to be the next big thing in the kid and teen category. XOMG Pop was the name of the group that came out of the show. There were 6 members that became 7, and then back to 6 after a year, and then another left, and then 2 more left. Fans have been wondering what was going on and why there wasn't anything being said about the group changing so much. But it seemed like the answers are now being revealed, as one of the moms and one of the dancers have decided to speak out against JoJo and her mom, detailing the alleged grueling conditions these girls had to endure during their time in the group and on the show. Leah Sanderson, who was 16, alongside her mom, spoke to Rolling Stone about their experience on the television show, and they wrote that the two of them, along with sources close to the production, alleged that the Siwas subjected the children to grueling rehearsals, sometimes foregoing school breaks, with meager compensation. They also alleged Sanderson was forced to work under intense physical duress, with Jessica Lynn encouraging her to attend a video shoot just a few weeks after she underwent spinal cord surgery. In one instance, just days before the surgery, they allege, Leah started bleeding through her belly button during a rehearsal for a performance at the Children's and Family Emmys, which was hosted by JoJo. Rather than encourage her to take a break, the Sandersons say Jessica Lynn told her to put a maxi pad on it so it wouldn't leak onto her costume. In regards to their experience in the XOMG Pop group, they allege that Jessica Lynn was overtly cruel to their young charges, calling them names and in one instance shaming them for having a disability. The contestant who was the target of the alleged verbal abuse did not return Rolling Stone's request for comment. JoJo, meanwhile, could also be nasty and domineering, according to sources, a sharp contrast from her upbeat on-screen persona. At one point, they alleged she screamed insults at the girls during a performance. They also alleged she played a role in helping to build a cutthroat environment long after the cameras were gone, playing favorites and pitting members against each other. Sources told Rolling Stone that members of the group were under the impression that this was all to give JoJo's mom a new project, as JoJo was maturing and moving on to the next phase of her career. She was putting down the bows and seeing what the next stage of life was going to bring her. And XOMG Pop was going to be a way for her mom to keep doing what she allegedly knows best, and that's make these child pop stars. What's interesting to me is that we know that JoJo came from Dance Moms and the controversies that rose from that show and the treatment of the children and the moms on there, to a degree that not everyone even wants to talk about the show to this day or be a part of any reunions. And something Rolling Stone included in their article that stood out was 2 sources close to the production who spoke with Rolling Stone on the condition of anonymity confirmed the production team had sold Dance Pop Revolution as being a kinder, gentler version of Dance Moms. With what Jess and JoJo went through on Dance Moms, we thought they wouldn't want to do anything that would make a child feel a certain way or paint them in a certain light, one said. But from what we've heard, it was allegedly not the case that these kids were treated right in the filming of this show and afterwards. It sounds like Dance Moms, and I would say maybe even worse than. Things get even worse because payment was brought up, and it's been reported that the moms had to pay out of pocket for a lot of things when it came to being in this group. Apparently, they were paying for food, transportation, often without any reimbursement, and were not paid for individual music video, photo, or social media content shoots when it came to things for the group. Rolling Stone reported in a copy of the recording contract provided to Rolling Stone, the girls were promised $10,000 upon recording their first album, yet the Sandersons only received a little more than $4,000 because Jess said that she had to pay for the Airbnb where they would stay. A deposit for $4,250 provided to Rolling Stone appears to confirm this. In 2022, JoJo rented a house that was known as the XOMG Pop Content House, but the girls did not sleep there, and Leah's mom said that she and her daughter ended up spending several months sleeping on a blow-up mattress in a dance studio. She had shut down her daycare business in order to pursue this dream for her daughter in truly making it, and even though she had made it into this group, things were not panning out, especially not financially. And she said that she didn't want to speak out in fear of risking her daughter's spot in the group, but she had to make ends meet somehow. And worst of all, it's being alleged that JoJo's mom was well aware of the fact that these families were struggling to sustain proper living conditions while trying to stay in California and be a part of this group, that at one point she hired some of them to work for her to clean her house. Rolling Stone wrote, "And none of us had the money. The mothers were so short on funds," Angie alleges, that at one point she and Bella's mother started working directly for Jessica Lynn herself, organizing JoJo's closet and scrubbing toilets in her home for $20 an hour, according to PayPal receipts and a schedule provided to Rolling Stone. The girls were allegedly behind on school and overworked, and the competitions didn't end when the show ended. Even though the girls had made it into the group, they would be making social media content, and they would be told that whoever got the most views on their video would get a certain amount of money as a prize, which certainly didn't unify the group. Leah's mom said that she raised concerns about the group with other moms and one of the teachers at the studio, and it was after this that her daughter was fired from the group. Rolling Stone says they reviewed the text messages that showed what went down between JoJo's mom, Jessica Lynn, and Leah's mom. She didn't want to take this opportunity away from her daughter by expressing her concern, but it seemed that was what happened, and she begged Jessica Lynn to not let her actions affect her daughter, even asking if she could give her oldest daughter guardianship over Leah so that she could be her guardian when it came to group work situations, because she didn't want her concerns to have been the reason why her daughter had to leave the group. And if Jessica Lynn was going to have a problem with her, she wanted to offer a solution to somehow keep her daughter in the group that didn't involve Jessica Lynn ever having to interact with her ever again. But none of the switching of the guardianship happened, and Leah was removed from the group. Only 3 of the group's original members remain, and as of last year, they were still selling some of the merchandise that had former members' faces on it. And according to Leah and her mom, they have not seen any revenue from merchandising, nor have they been compensated for brand deals, photo and video music shoots, or rehearsals. The group is still set to tour this summer, but their career certainly hasn't been the dream that was sold to them, that's for sure. And something they noted in that article that seemed to be true is that the non-success of this group might have just been because the girls were a creation of JoJo's mom, not something that the public necessarily picked out. It felt like they were forced onto the public. I mean, JoJo had a YouTube channel for so long that she was vlogging on and posting videos with other YouTubers on, and then she just changed it one day to XOMG Pop, and the views were down because everyone was like, what happened to this channel? Like, where's JoJo? Where's JoJo's vlogs? Like, it was as if this group was supposed to replace the old JoJo, and it just wasn't working. Maybe they would have been a big thing if they happened a lot earlier and they toured with JoJo when she was in her Nickelodeon prime, and they could have used all of that as promotion to skyrocket them. But the timing of them trying to replace this youthful JoJo was just not playing into their favor, and it didn't seem to be something worth it to anyone. It certainly wasn't the success JoJo and her mom wanted it to be, and the girls and the moms in the group surely sound like they suffered in the process. Rolling Stone did include a statement from JoJo's lawyer writing, in response to a list of detailed questions, the Siwas denied the allegations via their counsel, entertainment attorney Brian Friedman, saying the abuse came from Angie. These allegations are 100% provably false. The statement reads, voluminous and irrefutable evidence will tell you all you need to know that a disgruntled momager's own abusive behavior caused for her daughter to be asked not to return to the group. His full statement is shared at the end of the article. Friedman referred to Leah Sanderson's termination as just Siwa protecting the staff, the other girls, and their families, which she will continue to do vociferously and unapologetically. They did not respond to allegations unrelated to the Sandersons or questions regarding why so many former members of the group had left. This whole thing is truly so crazy and sad. Just really sad. And honestly, when it comes to JoJo in all of this, I think this is the only world that she knows. A strict, working hard as a child with producers in your face and a stage mom kind of world. And her mentality is probably like, well, it worked for me, so get it together and it will work for you too. but that's not okay. There's a reason why nobody else talks about Abby Lee Miller. JoJo's relationship with her doesn't surprise me after hearing all of this. I mean, seemingly her and her mom have learned from Abby and chose to be just like her when creating their own group of girls, but it's sad to see and hear that she might not truly know kindness and that there can be success in being nice to others and treating them with respect and receiving respect. Like, it's really sad, but I want to know what you guys think about all of this. Like I mentioned though, JoJo and her mom are denying the allegations against them, as said by their attorney to Rolling Stone, but let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.